So when it comes to the practicals in data science, actually we are learning from this chapter, that is actual machine learning algorithms. That is here it means actually these are the methods. Simply it means supervised classification, unsupervised reinforcement, and whatever the mathematical foundations we have learned, these we are implementing into these algorithms. That is here SVM, decision tree, naive Bayes, k-nearest neighbor, etc. It means that whatever implementations we are going to perform, all these are based on the fifth chapter only. So here right now during this practical we will see simply that is how what it means, the basic idea without learning how the actual algorithm works. Okay, here before that, so let us start with the it means what we are going to learn. So here classification, it means that here if I have given the data, that is I'm available with the data of different flowers, then how I can decide that which that is how the flower belongs to the another category. Okay, so here I wanted to predict the class of the flower. Okay, so what is mean by class? It means that for a single flower I can have the multiple classes. For example, take a picture of this flower. Okay, so here I'm having, okay, actually I shared the complete screen. Wait for it. Yes. Okay, so this is iris flower. So within that there are multiple classes are there. It means the same category of the flower is there, but I wanted to find out that in which class that flower is there. So here for this purpose, again, when it comes to the data science, it means that by simply looking at the flower, I cannot guess to which category that belongs. So here, whenever we are describing objects or anything in languages, we are, so when it comes to the flower, I may be willing that how I can store the information about these flowers. Okay, so here for this purpose we need to study some terms, just like here when it comes to this flower, setosa, versicolor and viridiana. So these are the three classes are there. So already databases are available, but right now the whenever I'm looking for the data, I'm having data of these three flower classes data is available. Okay, and now here this is a petal and this is a sepal. So it means that here whenever we are storing the data, we are storing the length of the petal and sepal length. We are storing the width of the petal and sepal length. It means that here we are storing the measurements. Okay, and based on the measurements we will decide to which category or to which class the given flower is belong to. Okay, for example, here I can see that here the petal length is less and sepal length is sepal width is much wider. Whereas in case of versicolor, I can see the medium sizes are there. And whereas terms of virginica, I can say that these are longer but not wider. Okay, so it means that here I'm storing data of these flowers, and these flowers. So let me tell you how in my data, that is in case of these flowers. So when we are storing the data, I will store what is the petal length. This is first parameter I can say. So here it is not mandatory that we should have this parameter only. I can store RGB combination. I can store how many petals are there. But as these belongs to the iris category, I may have the same number of petals and sepal. So it means that that feature we cannot use for the classification. म्हणजे काय की मला क्लासेस मध्ये डिवाइड करायचं आहे. माझ्याकडे समजा की 100 फ्लॉवरचा डेटा आहे. कुठला डेटा आहे? आय एम हॅव्हिंग पेटल लेंथ, आय एम हॅव्हिंग पेटल विड्थ, I'm having sepal length, and I am also having sepal width. Okay, So these 4 parameters are there, and such 4 parameters values are available for the consider 100 flowers. अशा 100 फ्लॉवरचा डेटा माझ्याकडे आहे. Then I can say that that is called as a data set. ओके, त्याला मी माझा डेटा सेट म्हणेल. आणि मला काय करायचंय की तो डेटा सेट जो आहे त्याच्यामधून कॅटेगराइज करायचंय की आउट ऑफ 100 हाऊ मेनी बिलोंग्स टू द सेटोसा कॅटेगरी, how many belongs to the another 2 categories, that is versicolor and virginica. ओके, असं नाही की माझ्याकडे 100 फ्लॉवरचा डेटा एकाच कॅटेगरी मध्ये आहे. आपण टास्क काय आहे की माझ्याकडे डेटा असेल 100 असेल 200 असेल, having data available for the 150 flowers. Okay, out of that I want to know how many set of flowers are there, how many versicolor are there, and virginica are there. So it means that I need to check what can be the relation between these. म्हणजे मी कुठल्या लेवलला म्हणू शकते की म्हणजे लेंथ विड्थ, पेटलच्या लेंथ आणि सेपलच्या विड्थ कुठल्या लेवलला म्हणू शकते की तो फ्लॉवर या तो किंवा कॅटेगरीचा आहे. Okay, that is the so our main aim is today to predict the class of flower based on the attributes. Okay, these are the attributes. Right now for current implementation, we are using SVM algorithm. Okay. Okay, actually it displayed somewhat slow come to my existing yes. So I want to use SVM, stands for the support vector machine. Please bear with me. Okay, here we are. So what right now I wanted to perform is that here support vector machine, it means that I will draw a graph. Okay, graph, it means that here I'm having some parameter here, x parameter, okay, and I'm having y parameter at this point. Okay, आणि x आणि y parameter, for example right now we are having the 4 categories of the or 4 types of the data, petal length, petal width, sepal length and sepal width. मग या केस मध्ये माझं कुठलंही पॅरामीटर x असू शकतं किंवा कुठलंही पॅरामीटर y असू शकतं. सो सपोर्ट वेक्टर मशीनचं काय काम आहे? So whenever we are having, that is we are considering the support vector machine. So right now I'm having data of 150 flowers. So if consider that here I have taken the petal length and here I have taken the sepal length. Consider these 2 parameters I have taken. So I will draw for each of the 150 flowers. म्हणजे जेवढे माझे 150 flowers जे आहेत त्याच्यामध्ये प्रत्येकाचा मी असा प्लॉट करून घेईन. Okay, so I will increase the here I am having data of 150 flowers. So मी काय करेन की असा प्लॉट करून घेईन. Okay, so within that plot here if consider I will find out a vector. Okay, so here if I wanted to study I will draw each of these flowers. म्हणजे 150 फ्लॉवरचा x आणि y पॅरामीटर हे 2 पॅरामीटर घेऊन असा ग्राफ ड्रॉ करेन and within that I will find out a vector. Okay, support vector machine, it means that this is the supporting vector आणि याच्या बाउंड्रीवरच माझे सगळे डेटा पॉइंट्स अवेलेबल आहेत. ओके, विथिन द बाउंड्री. मग असा वेक्टर जर मी फाइंड आउट केला, देन आय कॅन से दॅट की ज्याच्या बाउंड्री मध्ये हे येतात ते बिलॉंग टू सम कॅटेगरी. मग त्याच्या बेसिसवर मी ठरवू शकते की बाबा ते एखाद्या कॅटेगरीमध्ये बिलॉंग करतात म्हणून. अँड the same concept we are using here for the first classification method. What we are building here, right now I'm having data of these 4 parameters. Along with that, also having another, that is class label. Okay, so class label म्हणजे काय की नक्की कुठल्या 3 कॅटेगरी पैकी माझा करंट डेटा सेट अवेलेबल आहे. So for example, if I'm having length वगैरे, consider that these are in terms of centimeters. Whatever existing database we are using, that is in terms of centimeters. If consider I'm having petal length as 2, then 2.5 or 0.5, etc. Okay, consider this is simply a data set and 1.0. Okay, and this flower category belong to the setosa. Okay, so such data set will be there within a single file. This is one data. Similarly, some another data will be there, just like 2.1, then 2.6, or consider 0.8 or 1.1, and then this belong to the, consider also this belong to the setosa category. So such 100 values will be there. Okay, such or 150 values, म्हणजे 150 फ्लॉवरचा डेटा माझ्याकडे असेल. मग माझ्याकडे त्याचा क्लास लेबल सुद्धा आहे. So class label is means that existing data says that this category belong to, that is this data belong to this category, this data belong to this category. Okay, हे झालं स्टार्ट. ओके, आतापर्यंत माझ्यासोबत कोण कोण आहे की ज्याला कळतंय की बाबा काय चालू आहे नक्की? येस, कशासाठी चालू आहे ते नाही माहिती, पण काय चालू आहे ते कळत आहे. असे किती जण? इज देअर एनीबडी दॅट हू डझंट नो वेअर वी आर? डेटा सेट म्हणजे काय किंवा काय करतोय नक्की? सपोर्ट वेक्टर मशीन बद्दल जरी तुम्हाला थिअरी नाही कळाली, दॅट्स ओके, नो प्रॉब्लेम. But right now I wanted to make sure that you clear with the concept of data set. आणि डेटा सेट मध्ये कुठल्या कुठल्या व्हॅल्यूज आहेत, क्लास लेबल म्हणजे काय, आणि which algorithm right now we are using, how this graph is drawn. म्हणजे हा ग्राफ कुठल्या बेसिसवर ड्रॉ केलाय हा कळाला का तुम्हाला? ओके, जर कुणाला कळालं नसेल प्लीज लेट मी नो. Okay, right now I'm considering that everyone is clear with the task. Okay, so here म्हणजे माझ्याकडे काय आहे की माझ्याकडे 100 फ्लॉवरचा डेटा आहे या 4 पॅरामीटर्स मध्ये, अँड ऍट द लास्ट क्लास लेबल ऍज वेल. सो क्लास लेबल म्हणजे की तो कुठल्या कॅटेगरीचा आहे. Okay, so right now for this implementation we are using a supervised machine learning algorithm. Okay, so supervised म्हणजे काय? Supervised म्हणजे काय? Here complete data set जो आहे तो माझा, consider that I'm having data set of 150 flowers. Out of that 50 flower I will use for the training. Okay, and remaining 150 I will use for the testing. Okay, now here what is meant by training and what is meant by testing. Training म्हणजे काय? So consider these are my parameters. So हे नेहमी माझ्या एखाद्या वेक्टर किंवा मॅट्रिक्स मध्ये हे व्हॅल्यूज सेव्ह असणार. So if consider I'm treating this as x, y, a or b, consider a b c d, these are the parameters. मग ज्यावेळेस मी म्हणते की हा कुठल्या क्लास मध्ये आहे, माझ्याकडे मी इथे एक मॅथमॅटिकल रिलेशन बनवणार आहे. I will build a mathematical relation. कशापासून? By using these 4 parameters. Okay, A, B, C, D. These 4 parameters, whatever I am having available, that is these 4 parameters. Based on that, I will build a mathematical relation which will as a model. Okay, so model म्हणजे काय? To this, extremely sorry for the disturbance. Okay, so a model means that to that I will give this 4 parameters as input. Okay, not necessarily 4 असलंच पाहिजे किंवा 2, 3 in any type. It means फक्त मला mathematical relation पाहिजे. So this can give me the output like setosa. Means that to that if I'm giving these 4 values as input, it should give me that this flower belongs to this Setosa category. I may decide by using a 1, that is class. To this I may give for second class, and to this I will give this as a third class. Okay, it means that right now whenever we are dealing with the mathematics, we always deal with the integer values. So integer values, it means that to that also I can say that this is just like in this is class 1, this is class 2, and this is class 3. Okay, this I wanted to say. So supervised learning, it means that this is having a training and this is having a testing data. Training data, it means that I know already the output. ओके, माझ्याकडे ऑलरेडी आउटपुट आहे. आउटपुट आहे म्हणजे काय की मी इनपुट देणार आणि चेक करणार की माझा आउटपुट सेम येते का. ओके, so if it is there, then I can say that my mathematical relation is working properly. Okay, so this is first. Okay, and in terms of testing, whenever we are saying already we are having the input, मग समजा माझं हे नाही आलं आउटपुट, सेटोसा देत नाहीये, then I will change my input, that is I will change a mathematical relation. माझं mathematical relation मी change करत राहणार. Change करत राहणार म्हणजे काय? So here I will apply my mathematical foundations. For example, so it means that these are the mathematical operations which I will perform on my input. So it is at all not necessary that I should use all the parameters. असं नाही की मी 4 parameters use करेनच. But जे काय माझे mathematical relation असणार आहे त्याच्यामध्ये या 4 व्यतिरिक्त कुठलेही parameter extra नसणार आहे. Yes, there might be some constants, there might be some extra values or attributes, etc. For example, ज्यावेळेस मी एखाद्या लाईनची इक्वेशन लिहिते, सो आय कॅन से दॅट ax प्लस सी ही एक सिंपल लाईनची इक्वेशन आहे. मग त्याच्यामध्ये मी एक्स देईन आणि वाय देईन. एक्स आणि वाय म्हणजे हे माझे एबीसीडी पॅरामीटर्स आहेत, पण ए हा माझा कोइफिशियंट आहे. ए ची व्हॅल्यू लाईन टू लाईन व्हॅरी करते. हा, पण ही व्हॅल्यू अशी डायरेक्टली मी कॅल्क्युलेट करू शकत नाही. माझ्याकडे इनिशियली एक्सच्या काहीतरी व्हॅल्यू असतील, वायच्या काहीतरी व्हॅल्यू असतील, कॉन्स्टंट असेल. मग या केसमध्ये ज्यावेळेस मी ही रिलेशन माझ्या इक्वेशन साठी किंवा माझ्या व्हॅल्यू सेट साठी वर्क करते, ज्यावेळेस म्हणते त्यावेळेस ट्रेनिंग म्हणजे काय की मी ए आणि सी ची व्हॅल्यू फाइंड आउट करण्याचा प्रयत्न करते. ट्रेनिंग म्हणजे काय की मी हे 4 इनपुट दिले, मला आउटपुट ऑलरेडी माहिती आहे, but I wanted to find out what can be the value of coefficient, which can be the constant value. याच फॉर्म मध्ये आहे का, लिनियर इक्वेशन आहे का, किंवा असंही असू शकतं की a चा स्क्वेअर आहे, b चा स्क्वेअर आहे. इट मीन्स एनी मॅथमॅटिकल रिलेशन कॅन बी देअर. सो हिअर बिल्डिंग अ मॅथमॅटिकल रिलेशन based on the input and output. That is called as a model building. ओके, मॉडेल बिल्डिंग म्हणजे काय की माझ्याकडे इनपुट पण आहे, आउटपुट पण आहे. मग त्या बेसिसवर मी एखादा असं मॅथमॅटिकल फाउंडेशन, मॅथमॅटिकल रिलेशन तयार करण्याचा प्रयत्न करते की मला हे इनपुट दिलं की आउटपुट मला तेच यायला पाहिजे. And based on that only we can decide the accuracy of our algorithm. Mean by model building? Model building, it means that here based on the current characteristics or attributes or values, I will design a mathematical relation, okay, which will give me the correct class of my flower. Okay, model building clear hai? Okay. Okay, I'm happy that at least I'm receiving a single response. So here, that is a model building. Model building, it means that we are trying to form a mathematical relation based on the input and the expected output. After that, I will apply that model on the testing. Okay. If consider there are three categories. Okay, three categories म्हणजे काय की एक, first one, that is it works with the testing data well. Okay. In case of testing data as well, it is working properly. Sorry, two categories. And for the testing data, it is showing a deviation. Okay. ओके, जो काय मी मॉडेल बिल्ड केलाय तो ट्रेनिंग टेस्टिंग डेटा सोबत सुद्धा नीट काम करतो. And first possibility is that, and second possibility is that it works well with the training data, but it doesn't work well with the testing data. Okay, so if this is there, then I can say that this is called as a deviation. म्हणजे काय की मी जे नॉर्मल एक्सपेक्टेड केलं होतं की आउटपुट हे येईल ते येईल, ते आलं नाही. ओके, or I will say in terms of math, in terms of this one. So म्हणजे डेव्हिएशन म्हणजे काय की मी माझ्या ट्रेनिंग डेटावरून एक्सपेक्ट केलं की माझा एक्स आणि वाय जर असेल तर माझा ग्राफ असा येईल. अँड डेव्हिएशन इट मीन्स दॅट ट्रेनिंग मध्ये तर माझं बरोबर आलं, हे इथपर्यंत आलं, पण ज्यावेळेस मी टेस्टिंगचा डेटा दिला त्यावेळेस त्यांचा ग्राफ असा काहीतरी आहे, त्या कॅरेक्टरिस्टिक्स पासून वेगळे कॅरेक्टरिस्टिक्स शो करायला लागला. म्हणजे एक्स जर दिलं तर ट्रेनिंग नुसार माझं हे वाय यायला हवं होतं, बट द वाय इज शोविंग अ डिफरंट व्हॅल्यू. इट इज शोविंग द कॅरेक्टरिस्टिक्स विच आर नॉट ऍज पर द एक्सपेक्टेड. ओके, आहे त्या बिहेवियर जसं आपण प्रेडिक्ट केलं होतं तसं नाही दाखवत, ते थोडस व्हॅरिएशन दाखवतं. मग हे जे करंट पॉइंट पासून जो डिफरन्स आहे याला म्हणायचं डेव्हिएशन. ओके, अँड दिस इज ऑल्सो कॉल्ड अ कन्सेप्ट ऑफ ओव्हरफिटिंग. ओके, जर समजा डेव्हिएशन जर असेल देन दिस इज कॉल्ड ऍज अ ओव्हरफिटिंग. याला म्हणायचं ओव्हरफिटिंग. ओव्हरफिटिंग म्हणजे माझा डेटा किंवा माय मॉडेल वर्क्स विथ द ट्रेनिंग डेटा वेल, ट्रेनिंग सोबत तो मॉडेल करेक्टली चालतो, बट व्हेन इट कम्स टू टेस्टिंग it is not working properly, then this is called as a overfitting. And if consider me training data expect kela, okay, this is a training and testing also works well, म्हणजे टेस्टिंग मध्ये सुद्धा हा प्रॉपरली वर्क करतोय, म्हणजे याच्या सोबतच हा इनलाइन आहे, then this concept is called as a generalization. So the model is working well with the training as working well with the testing, then that model is a generalized model. Okay, and if consider my model, okay, model build केला मी, समजा मी मॅथमॅटिकल मॉडेल बिल्ड केला आणि तो ट्रेनिंग मध्ये वर्क नीट करतो, then that will be called as a normal circumstances that my model is showing the more accuracy. But if consider I have built a model, but in case of training data as well, this is not showing me the correct output. Okay, not showing me the correct output, it means that if this is my class, then if the training says yes, this is the output I'm getting after the model, and somewhere it is showing and somewhere it is not showing, then if the current model doesn't work well with the training data as well, then this is called as a underfitting. Okay, underfitting म्हणजे माझा ग्राफ त्याच्यासोबत सुद्धा सेम येत नाहीये. Okay, so here we learn 3 terms: underfitting, generalization, and overfitting. Okay, so here accuracy of my algorithm or my model completely builds whether for how many input I'm showing the correct output. Okay, माझ्या किती इनपुटला मी माझा करेक्ट आउटपुट दिला in terms of training as well as in testing, then that will be called as a accuracy. Okay, so these are the few terms. Before starting with this, I wanted to make clear to you. So clear with supervised learning. Supervised learning, it means that this will give input, this will give always a labeled data. Labeled data, it means that along with the input, I am having output as well. And based on that, I will build or train my model. And then I will test this with the remaining testing data. And based on the percentage of accurate results, so this will show me how much accuracy my algorithm is giving. Okay, so this is regarding supervised algorithm. Supervised algorithm मध्ये मला माझे इनपुट नेहमी लेबल्ड म्हणजे आउटपुट काय आहे ते सुद्धा असतं. अँड दॅट्स वाय हिअर म्हणजे सुपरवाइज लर्निंग मध्ये जास्त आपण पॅरामीटर्स म्हणजे कुठल्या पॅरामीटर्सला आपण रिलेशन बिल्ड करायचं ते फिक्स असतं. म्हणजे असं नाही की आपण एक्स्ट्राच्या पॅरामीटर वगैरे ऍड करू शकतो. नो, हिअर वी आर हॅव्हिंग फिक्स नंबर ऑफ द क्लासेस अँड द इनपुट ॲज वेल. Okay, so this is supervised learning. And before moving to the supervised म्हणजे actual procedure ला, let me tell you the few more points. There are 4 concepts. Okay, true positive, true negative, false positive, and false negative. Now what is mean by this? Okay, so here meaning is that consider that I'm having data of 100 flowers. मग मी माझं mathematical relation build केलं. Okay, I'm having 100 flowers. Okay, and out of 100 flowers, what my model has done, माझ्या मॉडेलनं काय केलं की असं सांगितलं की 50 जे आहेत ते क्लास 1 मध्ये आहेत and 50 जे आहेत ते क्लास 2 मध्ये आहेत. Okay, I will take example of 2 classes only. Okay, so consider true and false values. Okay, but here क्लास 1 मध्ये आहेत आणि क्लास 2 मध्ये आहेत असं मी सांगितलं. बट ऍक्च्युअली ज्यावेळेस मी माझा सुपरवाइज डेटा लर्न करते त्यावेळेस 40 which belong to the class 1. Okay, नसते जे मी केले आहेत त्यातले फक्त 40 असे सॅम्पल्स आहेत की जे क्लास आणि मध्ये आहेत. ओके, क्लास 2 चे माझ्या मॉडेल नुसार ते क्लास 1 मध्ये कॅटेगराइज केले. दिस इज वन केस. अँड इन केस ऑफ दिस वन हिअर आउट ऑफ 50 30 are there which to the class 2. Okay, and 20 are there which belongs to the class 1. म्हणजे मी क्लास 2 मध्ये म्हणून सांगितलेलं आहे पण 20 जे आहेत ते क्लास 1 मध्ये आहेत. So what is म्हणजे clear with this? Out of 100 samples, I declare that 50 are there which belong to the class 1, 50 are there which belong to the class 2. म्हणजे मी असं सांगितलं की हे 50 नाहीत आणि हे 50 आहेत. सोपं आहे. This is actually true. And this is actually false. Okay, so here 4 terms. What is meant by true positive? What is meant by true negative? False negative and false positive and false negative. ट्रू पॉझिटिव्ह म्हणजे काय की मी ट्रू म्हणून पण सांगितलंय आणि ते आहेत पण. ट्रू पॉझिटिव्ह इट मीन्स दॅट दोज ट्रू by my model as true and in actual they are true. That's why this will be called as a true positive. ओके, ज्या व्हॅल्यूज माझ्या अल्गोरिदमला करेक्टली आयडेंटिफाय केलेल्या आहेत त्या झाल्या माझ्या दिस व्हॅल्यूज 40. that yes, my model also says that out of this 50, that 50 are there which are belong to the true category, but out of that 40 are there which are true actually. That's why true positive, I can say that these are the 40. True negative, it means that my algorithm has shown that these values are true, but these are actually not true. म्हणजे ह्या 10 की ज्या मी सांगताना माझ्या मॉडेलनुसार ट्रू सांगितलं पण ऍक्च्युअली त्या नाहीत, then these will be called as a true negative. ओके, and false positive म्हणजे काय की मी हे चुकीचं आहे म्हणून सांगितलंय आणि ते खरोखर चुकीचं आहे. Or I said that this belong to the class 2 and actually this is also belong to the class 2. Then this will be okay, this is 30 and this is 20. False positive म्हणजे मी false म्हणून सांगितलेलं आहे पण ते actually true आहे. Those will be called as a false positive, and initially I have given this as a false and actually this is also false. Then this will be called as a false negative. Okay, so this is how these 4 terms are there. So these terms, based on this only we decide what is the accuracy of our model. म्हणजे या बेसिसवर ठरवलं जातं की माझ्या मॉडेलची accuracy किती आहे. Okay, so here clear with these terms. So here which terms we are seeing? Supervised learning, then training data. What is meant by training data? What is meant by testing data? Then again we have seen the concept of underfitting, generalization and overfitting. And also we have seen what can be the class labels and supervised learning. And then we will study regarding the SVM whenever we will study the 5th chapter in detail. But right now, SVM is an algorithm which will train my data. Train data or train model, it means that this is a building a mathematical relation which takes this input and gives me the correct output. Okay, and for this model building we are using the SVM. Okay, so let us go step by steps. Okay, simply I will use Word file within which I am having the relation. Okay. It's okay. This is the complete overview. Overview, it means that setting up the environment, it means that whatever the libraries are there, we need to install those libraries. So for this purpose, for this implementation, we are using graphs as well. Okay, so graphs, that's why we need few of the implementations, few of the libraries like Matplotlib will be required. NumPy is required because we are dealing with the values and we will be building a model. Pandas as required as well. So pandas, these are mostly used for the data recognition, etc. And also scikit-learn also we required. Scikit-learn, this is making available as the machine learning algorithms, that is SVM, etc. are part of this library. Also, we need Seaborn. So Seaborn, again, another library for plotting, that is graph plotting. Okay, so these are the libraries which we require. So if we have already installed, please install these libraries. So let me show you the steps. Okay, steps may not be available. Let me check whether I have documented this. So, okay, these steps already I shared with you when I've taken the first practical, that is wrapper classes. Sorry, a web scraping program. So if I wanted to install the matplotlib, so this command we can use. So here this is having NumPy as dependent library. So you can install by using it means matplotlib. Default it will install the NumPy. So I need not to install that explicitly, but still I executed this. So installation of scikit-learn. Then NLTK. NLTK is not required, but it is library recommended in our second chapter. That's why I installed. So yes, I had not installed or added the steps. So I wanted to install Seaborn. Okay, so this way you can install, and pandas as well. Okay, these two need to be installed. So here we set up the environment or we install the libraries. After installation of the libraries, next task we need to do is the loading the data. Okay, so after the libraries, the next task I will do is load the data. Loading the data, it means that I wanted to have data of 150 flowers right now system or in my program. So for this purpose, existing database, data science database available. So here, if I type iris flower class, actually here we can use the same title, and it will lead us to the. It will take us to the explanation as well, and as well as it will also give us database. Okay, let me show you. It is project. Okay, it is not showing me the actual database. Is this Kaggle gives us data for uh, multiple options. It means in terms of consider we wanted to study brain images, heart images, or some another organ, or stock, etc. It's here the at Kaggle. Much more data sets are available. I won't recommend if it is asking for you to register, etc. Where free available, you can get the data. Need to register. Yes, if you are willing, you can. But I won't recommend you to register the multiple sites. Okay. ISO.data, this file will be having a data. So this will have .data extension or .csv extension, etc. CSV means that comma separated values. Just like here, I'm having these 4 valid by the comma, and here if class, I will also have this label by the. Similarly, it means multiple data of whatever data set is available, just like for the 150, etc. So in this way, the data set will be available. Okay. Let me check what are the contents of this. Yes, we can say that. Yes, the same way the set is available, separated values. Okay, the display is somewhat delayed. Wait a minute. Okay, this is actual file dot there is data file. So you can see the data is separate comma, and last is the that fifth the parameter is a label. Label it means or that flower belongs. Then the another value. Okay. So where we are reading the data, we are reading that is components of 5 parameters only, and that's why. Okay, I'm getting disconnected frequently, but stay online. Don't leave the meet. So after this loading the data, that is I have read the data. If you wanted to print the data, you can print. That is after loading the data, you can read in terms of .data file or CSV file. Either of the format you can read the data. And if you wanted to print, etc., you can call a head method. If I dot read, etc., then file dot head. So this will give us the first 5 to 10 tuples or 5 to 10 records, etc. If you are willing. Okay, this is at all not a mandatory step. Okay, and after that, after loading the data, next I will perform the statistics. Statistics is that and we will check how many values are there. That is, what is the count, what is the minimum length, what is maximum, etc. It means in terms of statistics, we have seen the many ways to describe our data, just like finding the minimum value, finding the maximum value, finding the average, mean, variance, quantile, etc. It means many terms are there. So statistics, this will display which are the, it means statistics of the existing data set. That is how many values are there, what is the minimum length, what is maximum length, etc. So after statistics, you can, fourth step is regarding the model building. Okay. Okay, before that, you can go for the plot. Okay, you might be requiring, you might be thinking why there is need to plot the graph. ओके, प्लॉटिंग द ग्राफ इज नेसेसरी बिकॉज म्हणजे मी असं नाही की ह्या व्हॅल्यूज सगळ्या सगळ्या रीड करू शकते आणि मला कळू शकते की बाबा त्याच्यामध्ये काय रिलेशन आहे. नो, प्लॉटिंग द ग्राफ म्हणजे काय की मी हे याच्यासाठी करते की राईट नाव आय एम हॅव्हिंग द 4 पॅरामीटर्स. ओके, 4 पॅरामीटर्स आर देअर A, B, C and D. ओके, आय वॉन्टेड टू फाइंड आउट की कुठलं पॅरामीटर कुणासोबत कम्पेअर केल्यानंतर मला जास्त कॅटेगरायझेशन सापडतं किंवा त्या क्लासचे जास्त जवळ येतात, दुसऱ्या क्लासचे त्याच्यापासून लांब राहू शकतात. म्हणजे मला इथे काय करायचं की या पॅरामीटर्स पैकी कुणाचं एकमेकांमध्ये काय रिलेशन आहे बिटवीन ए बी, बिटवीन बी सी, बिटवीन सी डी और अनदर कॉम्बिनेशन्स लाईक ए सी बी डी एक्सेट्रा. म्हणजे मला प्रत्येक पॅरामीटरचं प्रत्येकासोबत रिलेशन चेक करायचंय आणि हे 3 क्लासेस सोबत करायचंय. 3 क्लासेस म्हणजे काय आहे की माझ्याकडे तर ऑलरेडी 150 फ्लॉवरचा डेटा आहे आणि तो लेबल्ड डेटा आहे. लेबल्ड डेटा म्हणजे काय आहे की माझ्याकडे 3 कॅटेगरीचे आहेत. मग मी काय करेन की प्रत्येक क्लासला एक कलर देईन. इट मीन्स आय विल बी हॅव्हिंग 3 कलर्स इनटू माय ग्राफ and based on these 4 parameters I will draw the data of the 3 classes and I will decide which feature or which A, B, C, D out of these A, B, C, D which characteristics or which feature better describes that flower. म्हणजे त्या फ्लॉवरला डिफरन्शिएट करण्यासाठी मी कुठलं फीचर यूज करू शकते ते मला ग्राफ मधून कळेल. ओके, and after plotting the graph then we can go for building the model. Okay, and after this we will go for yes, this is having the steps like training and testing etc. So building the model or training the model, the same thing. Okay, and later on I will check what is the accuracy as for the testing. ओके, माझ्या टेस्टिंगच्या सॅम्पल सोबत बिल्ड मॉडेल हे कम्प्लिटली ट्रेनिंग डेटावर होतं and based on that here I will check what is the accuracy for the given model. For example, for the build consider that I have used the 50 samples. म्हणजे ट्रेनिंग साठी मी 50 सॅम्पल्स यूज केले. मग उरलेले जे 100 सॅम्पल्स आहेत त्याच्यामध्ये मला किती अॅक्युरसी मिळेल की म्हणजे आउट ऑफ 100 हाऊ मेनी आर ट्रू पॉझिटिव्ह, हाऊ मेनी आर ट्रू निगेटिव्ह एक्सेट्रा. अँड बेस्ड ऑन दॅट म्हणजे कुणाकुणाचं करेक्ट कॅटेगरायझेशन झालं आणि कुणाकुणाचं नाही झालं. ओके, and what is the other characteristics like mean, variance जर समजा मला प्रिंट करायचं असेल त्या क्लास वाईज then also we can go for. So these are the steps which we perform. Okay, first is loading the library or installing the libraries required for this. Then we will go for loading the data. Then we will perform the statistics. Then we will plot the graph. We will build the model and at the last we'll check the accuracy. Okay, so clear with these steps? Yeah, steps clear hai? Okay. Yes, this is our first practical. मी एक्सपेक्ट करत नाही की यातलं तुम्हाला A to Z up to 100% सगळ्याच्या सगळं कळावं. बट ऍटलीस्ट यू शुड बी एबल टू गेट द फ्लो. म्हणजे फ्लो म्हणजे काय की म्हणजे या स्टेपला काय केलंय, या स्टेपला काय केलंय, कशासाठी केलं, का केलं, दॅट इज अ फर्दर पार्ट. म्हणजे जसं जसं आपण पुढचे प्रॅक्टिकल करू हे तसं क्लिअर होऊन जाईल. बट ऍटलीस्ट यू शुड बी एबल टू नो दॅट येस आफ्टर दीज स्टेप्स आय शुड म्हणजे हे कळत आहे. ओके, सो थँक यू फॉर द रिप्लाय. सो नाव आय विल गो फॉर implementation of the program. Okay, I already executed this program. At 11 o'clock, I think you are having the session. So instead of wasting, sorry, not wasting, actually instead of writing the program from the scratch, I will directly go for execution of the program. So here, this is my program for the iris classification. So first step is always importing the packages. ओके, देन कॉलम्स. कॉलम्स म्हणजे काय की मला कळायला पाहिजे की माझा कुठला डेटा प्रिंट होतोय. येस, आय एम हॅव्हिंग दिस डेटा. ओके, वेअर इज दॅट डेटा सेट विच आय हॅव डाउनलोडेड. ओके, आय थिंक आय क्लोज दॅट डेटा. So here we are giving that these are the class labels or columns. as per the data set, and then we will read that data. Then whatever the column names are there, we will print. And then I will print the head data. Head data म्हणजे काय की पहिले 5 टपल मला प्रिंट करायचे. Then we will describe. Describe it means that I will print some of the characteristics, and then I will go for labels. So here, as per the class labels, we will go for the plotting. Okay, and then it will go for separating the features and target. Separating the features and target, it means that here, out of, just like I given say that we are having training and testing. So separating the features and target, it means that I have taken these features and this is my target. Okay, it means just in terms of data science, this is input and output. Okay, then here this will go for calculating the average, etc. Then it will go for plotting these, and it will go for the splitting the data into train and test, and then it will go for the implementation of support vector machine algorithm. Okay, so this is available into sklearn, that is scikit-learn library. And then it will go for predict the class, in which class that can be belongs, and then it will go for displaying the accuracy, and at the last it will give the report completely. Okay, so here this right now we wanted to build a model, so let us go for the execution. Okay, so initially this has the head, that is first 5 values it has printed. Then it has given the how many count are there, that is analysis or describe, we can say mean, standard deviation, etc. 25%, 50%. So these are, it means these are the statistics we can say with respect to the existing data set. And then it has gone for the plotting. Okay, plotting मध्ये काय केलंय की whatever 4 parameters I'm having, 4 parameters, that is sepal length, sepal width, petal length and petal width. हे जे 4 parameters, petal width with sepal length, petal width with sepal width, petal width with petal length and petal width with petal width. Okay, म्हणजे प्रत्येकाचं प्रत्येकासोबत categorization. It means X and Y with respect to the each one we are drawing the graph. And here already this is a label data. Label data म्हणजे मला माहिती की बाबा कुठला डेटा कुठल्या क्लास मध्ये आहे. So here this has used a color combination. So based on this, these graphs are drawn. So based on the graphs, so can anybody analyze which feature or which category or which combination of the features we should use for this classification? Any idea? क्लासिफिकेशन साठी आपण कुठलं पॅरामीटर यूज करायला हवं हे कोणी सांगू शकतं का? Yes, we can use the petal width. Petal width कशासाठी घेतली आपण? कारण की if I'm comparing the petal width, I can say that here almost a non-overlapping classification is there. Non-overlapping classification म्हणजे काय की इथं ब्ल्यू कुणासोबत ही ओव्हरलॅप होत नाही. In case of orange and green, somewhat overlapping is there, but that is a minimum, I can say. Whereas it compared to here, I'm having much more overlapping here as well, here as well, here also, and here also. But when it comes to the petal width along with the other parameters, I can say that the very less overlapping is there. And whatever this iris shutter size there, that is exactly categorized. It means very isolated from the previous two, isolated from the other two classes. And that's why I can say that this parameter I can use. When it comes to this, that is sepal length and sepal width, I can say that here the maximum overlapping is there, and because of which I cannot use this as a two parameters combination for the classification. हा म्हणजे असं नाही की इथे हे दोनच पॅरामीटर तुम्ही यूज करायला पाहिजेत. नो, हिअर वी कॅन गो फॉर द मल्टिपल पॅरामीटर्स ॲज वेल. सो हाऊ द model is trained, that is a part of PSVM algorithm. PSVM किंवा मी ह्याला कसं स्टडी करायचं. But based on the graph, we can say that yes, if I'm using this feature, I can say that the maximum I can say the maximum non-overlapping is there, minimum data is overlapped, etc. And that's why it is easy to classify. Okay, and why plots are necessary. Okay, plots are because we can visualize the thing and can decide wherever overlapping is there, that feature should not be used. Wherever non-overlapping is there, that can say that I can say that this range belongs to this class, this range belongs to other class, etc. Okay, so this is the graph, and after this graph it will show me the accuracy, that is how many correctly identified are there. So I can say that here 93% accuracy is there. Let me show you. So here prediction of the species, here 3 species we have given. So whatever these remaining features are there, that is, this is a first parameter is precision, next one is recall, next one is F1 score and support. So regarding these parameters, we will study in case of support vector machine in detail. But right now, here I can say that my accuracy is 93%. And that's why I can say this is a what we can say a positive value. That is, we can have this as a algorithm for the classification, we can say. Okay, clear with this? So I request you to go through the steps once more. Okay. Okay, model building, this part too we can forget at this point. Only we will see. So these are the steps which we covered, or in case of Notepad, here. Loading the libraries, loading the data, performing the statistics, that is describing the data, plotting the graph, building the model, and calculating the accuracy. Okay, so I will mail you the program, or I will put this on the group, that is program or complete folder. So you can try by yourself. Let me check whether you are having this session or not. So for the time being, I will skip. I will keep this screen sharing, and I will share you the program. Please stay online. Let me check regarding the next schedule, or we will continue up to 12:50. Okay, I will share the program on the group right now, and data set also I think I should share. So I will share this. Please perform implementation by your own. So for the time being, you can install the packages required for that. Okay, I have shared the complete zip file with you. So you can extract that and go for the execution is a .py file, and you will see the implementation. Please go through the program execution, understand the steps, and let me know if you are unable to understand anything. So okay, I will stop the recording now. So you can implement your program by your own. And if you're having the doubt, you can ask me during the implementation.